Hey there, fellow watchers. It's that time of the week again. Born to watch. Miami in the 1980s was the Wild West. Hot weather, hot women, hot people, and mountains of cocaine being smuggled in every single day. Budding entrepreneurs tried their hand at becoming a cocaine bigwig, but it wasn't a long-term career move for many. Oliver Stone wrote a script, Brian De Palma directed it, and Al Pacino starred in what could be the quintessential cocaine movie of not only the 80s, but of all time, Scarface. Back from an extended, well-earned break are the other two-thirds of the original crew to tackle a movie whose reputation definitely preceded it, which made it a must-watch for all teenagers in the late 80s and beyond. G-Man, welcome back.
Yeah, great to be back. Feels like a while since I've been in the hot seat.
Definitely been a while.
Been a little bit of time.
Pre-Christmas.
But yeah, we come back to a big belter of a movie.
Well,
2 hours 50 of Scarface.
It's a long way.
Yeah, it's a
commitment.
It's a good story. Yeah, ready to get back into this one, boys. Let's get into it.
And up there on the land, sweating still from an hour of jazzercise. Daniel, how are you, mate?
Mate, I'm just wondering how the last month went with your all filler, no killer January.
Thanks, Reggae Ellis. Mate, surprisingly well. Surprisingly well. We covered a couple modern films.
Rebel Moon, I'll have to take your word for it because I won't be watching, but you won't be listening to you gibbering about.
Mate, it was actually one of the more fun episodes, just being able to absolutely tear shreds off a movie, which got me thinking that maybe every once in a while we should just do bad movie review and just pick a bad movie to tear an arsehole to.
I think a friend of the podcast, Nicholas Torpy, has suggested that on many times. Maybe we get up and the grill and a few of these movies a bit more, but I only like doing movies I like, so yeah, fuck off.
We already did First Blood, didn't we?
What? Feel a pinched nerve there from the lover of Spudwise.
Absolutely. Okay, look, overs and unders. It's an old movie, 41 years old this year. Wow, Scarface. I'm gonna be relatively, I think, mainstream with this one. I'm gonna say 25. Now we're gonna start with Dan. Over and under 25, and what are your first memories of seeing Scarface?
You know, it's not, strangely enough, this isn't a movie that was a massive part of my exploring, loving cinema. Like, it's always been there, and I've always enjoyed it when I've seen it. It's always been hyper violent, so it was good when we were teenagers, for sure. But I don't froth out mega hard on it like some of the movies we have where we're seeing tens and tens of times. So I even to a point where the scene where all the shit hits the fan and the anti-hero Tony Montana decides that he doesn't want to blow the kid and the children and the wife. I had actually forgotten about that entire scene. I was like, oh yeah, this is why it goes all bad with Sosa. So I'm going to say unders on 25. I'm no fucking Damo. Don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely unders.
Okay, nice. G-Man?
I'm well under 25 on this. It was one of those movies I guess I'd seen snippets of, you've always heard about, but I hadn't watched, not when we were teenagers, definitely. I probably in my 20s when I first saw it, and as we said, it's 2 hours 50. It's a long investment, so and because of the type of movie it is, it's pretty hardcore. It's not something you go to unless you're really in the mood to watch it. Yeah. So I'd be between 5 and 10 times, I think, for this movie in total full watches.
Yeah.
But certainly I've seen parts of this as it's been on. I've watched it as I've, halfway through when it's come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm on the knocker. I think it'd be probably around 25 times I've seen this. This was one walking the aisles of the video shop that I saw the cover, and it was I guess it was as I guess a bit of a golden egg in regards, a bit like The Shining and a bit like some of those movies that you'd seen as you were growing up. And you were like, oh, I think I'd like to watch that, I think. And then, yeah, it's a big slog. So it's nearly 3 hours. It's not something, it's pretty heavy. Got an interesting thought on it. in Good, the Bad, the Ugly, which I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about it. I'm not sure whether it's one of those movies that I like more the more I see it, but we'll get to that. Okay, G-Man, why don't you tell us a little bit about Scarface, and then we're going to head to the trailer.
Okay, here's the original DVD cover. In the spring of 1980, the port at Mariel Harbor was opened, and thousands set sail for the USA. They came in search of the American dream. One of them found it on the sun-washed avenues of Miami. Wealth, power, and passion beyond his wildest dreams. He was Tony Montana. The world will remember him as Scarface.
A very 80s trailer there, and a long one at that. I tried to find a teaser trailer for a minute, but I only got the long one. Now, Dan, you'd appreciate a long one, wouldn't you?
Another long one, but that was almost as long as the movie. That was, I don't watch that. I count that as a viewing.
Yeah.
Very long, very long. Okay, critical thinking. Turn your camera on, F. Murray. Critical thinking. IMDb got this one rated 8.3 out of 10, and it is number 106 in the top 250. Certified fresh 79% on the tomato meter with a 93% audience score. I can see that. I can see that the public would like it more than the critics.
It didn't come out of the gates real well, did it, from a critical point of view?
No.
I think was it Brian De Palma or Oliver Stone said that to Stephen Bauer, said, get prepared for this because Hollywood's going to hate it.
Yeah.
You know,
And they sort of did.
Yeah,
They
it's sort
grew
of
to love it, though.
Yeah, and it was one of the ones that grew in time.
Yeah, absolutely. With that mole on your back.
Moly.
Okay, a couple of reviews. We got a good one. Andy Gill from Empire. Performances are excellent, and despite its moralistic conclusion, the film has since become a de rigueur viewing for crack barons who know a good shoot 'em up when they see one.
Yep. Sounds good, Gilly. Thanks.
What about crack barons? I think more than just crack barons watch this movie. Thanks. Silence. Bad review. Dwayne Burge from The Hollywood Reporter. Other than an unflinching, intense, and extraordinary performance from Al Pacino as the Cuban-born gangster Tony Montana, this gruesome offering has little to recommend.
Gee, I don't know about that. It's got it's a long movie, but it's a good storyline. I mean, it sort of rolls through to me.
I think it there's a 5-hour cut of Scarface somewhere.
Yeah, there definitely would be.
Because things happen super quickly. The rise and fall is very quick.
Yeah,
of Tony Montana.
Yeah, he's once he gets to the top, he doesn't stay really long, does it?
No, he burns bright.
But that comes back to his whole personality that they talk about at the start, that brash, confident character.
The one thing I noticed, Dan, I'd be interested to get your thought on this, is that regardless of how successful Tony became, essentially, he was still just the muscle. Like, when the shit got to shit from the big fellas, it was him they called on to kill the guy. He was never really a boss. He was just the muscle.
That's a fair point. He was definitely still very much on the tools. I mean, I had him counting cash, killing dudes, like all stuff you think that you might to subcontractors. Tony was still heavily involved in. So yeah, I think he needed definitely to delegate it before. I think his management style was a little micromanager.
Yeah.
When
he was counting up the $1,500, like, was it $1,500?
Yeah, it was $1,500.
Yeah.
The difference.
And just the fact that he's getting down to that, going, no, let's recount it all.
Well, it was his micromanagement that was his undoing, really.
Yep.
Like, how much money do you need?
Well, put all those cameras in and didn't look at the cameras.
Can't the veterans.
That was
they were right there.
Yeah, they were right there. It was good viewing if you're watching.
Why didn't, if he had all the cameras and he put all that counter surveillance, why didn't he have any tripwires or any alarms going off?
Yeah, people just jumping over the fence pretty
just
easily.
audio visual. That's all he had.
Yeah.
a couple of security guards called Guido, whose sole job it was to stare at the cameras all day. Might have gone astray if you're a multi-zillion.
Well, that's exactly right.
Well, he just wanted all the money to himself. He needed to buy a big spa. Okay, G-Man, ordinary people, take it away.
All right. There's a few side characters. Let's go through. I don't think we've done Al Pacino before, have we?
I think this is the first Al Pacino
This is
movie.
the first Al Pacino we've had. Look, he started his first feature film. He played a drug addict in the movie called The Panic in Needle Park in '71. It wasn't long after that he was in The Godfather. Francis Ford Coppola really wanted him for that. And that was obviously his breakthrough role. He got Best Supporting Actor nominee for that, even though the studio did not want him. But
No, they
Coppola
didn't.
fought for him, and it basically made both of them, really, that movie. It was a breakthrough for both of them. But then just looking at his whole movie catalogue, Serpico 73, obviously The Godfather Part 2, Dog Day Afternoon, Scarface, Sea of Love, Dick Tracy, Scent of a Woman, he got Best Actor Oscar.
Shit movie.
Yep. Overacted, but he got the Oscar. Carlito's Way, he's in Heat, Donnie Brasco, The Devil's Advocate, Any Given Sunday. He's just had so many movies, and that's not even touching all of them. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019, and most recently, he's in The Irishman in 2019. Got another Best Supporting Actor nominee for that as well.
We're going to get, and even more recent than that, we're going to go 1 Degree of Kurt Russell, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes. Yep, you're right. There is another 1 degree in there.
There is another one. We'll save that for later.
We'll save that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
just a question. Sorry, Gal. Just a question on Al Pacino. Be interesting, Dan, to get your feedback on this one. Is he any good?
It's when you think of Scent of a Woman, Heat, those performances where in doing a bit of background digging, he was really trying to channel, especially in Heat, someone who was a very big fan of the cocaine.
Yes.
That was his portrayal for Heat. But yes, Scent of a Woman, he's very shouty, so much so that he's become a meme with that. You say it all the time. She's got a great ass, like for Heat. So I don't know. Certainly he was absolutely revered as a stage actor before Francis Ford Coppola demanded that he was in The Godfather. So look, I don't think you could say that he is a poor actor, but whether he is one of the all-time greats, maybe he's been in some great film. Yes, there's a lot of dialing it up to 11 that's going on with our mate Al Pacino.
yeah, it is. And like, it's that from when he's in The Godfather, like how reserved that role is to how different he is in this. And then, as you said, those 90s movies, I mean, all that earlier part of the movies in like Serpico and Scarface and all of those to the ones you have in the 90s where he's completely different sort of actor.
I think he's a much better actor in his early career than what he is. I think he's really dialed it up of like to the point where he's a meme. He's a meme of himself.
I think of Donnie Brasco. I think of Carlito's Way, to a lesser extent, Sea of Love. Like they're performances that I really enjoy.
Any Given Sunday.
Any Given Sunday is probably, I was thinking about that today, Gal. That's probably more of a guilty pleasure, I think, than anything for me. And I watch it hungover on a Sunday. I reckon I can chuck on Any Given Sunday and enjoy it. So another Oliver Stone bit. Obviously screenwriter for Scarface and amazing director in his own right. But yeah, the jury's out. But you could say that similarly, Bob De Niro has done a shitload of really bad movies with questionable performances throughout his career as well. And I would, arguably describe him as one of the greatest actors that we've seen in the last 50 years. I don't know whether it's sometimes their take on the character which just stinks and doesn't gel with us as an audience. That skews our vision a little on that. And maybe Al Pacino, unfortunately, suffers from it a bit more than Robert De Niro and some of the other great actors. Like Tom Hanks has become this statesman and this actor over time because he's chosen roles that are very well suited to his range. And so probably does err on the side of taking risks and going a bit too over the top in crime capers that are inside his playbook. So yeah, I don't know. To answer your initial question, he doesn't spring to mind immediately as a flawless actor by any stretch.
Yeah, good call.
Well, look, a couple of sliding doors quickly for Al Pacino. He turned down Apocalypse Now, Captain Willard in '79, turned down Born on the 4th of July and Pretty Woman and Crimson Tide.
So Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
What Kovac? Tom Cruise's role?
Yeah.
Fuck, he's got 20 years on Cruise, doesn't he?
Yeah, he would do.
Yeah, he close. It's doing.
No,
15,
yeah,
20.
be about right.
And what he's got Dick Gear's role in Pretty Woman.
Yeah, apparently turned that down.
Or maybe he was maybe it was Jason Alexander's role as Philip Stuckey.
He was
Oh.
he was Brian Singer's first choice for the role of Special Agent Dave Cujan in The Usual Suspects, which was the
Oh,
Chaz Palminteri role.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have been good at that. He regrets passing on that role, apparently.
Chaz Palminteri.
Would he have gone over the top in that? Because there's a few shouty scenes where Chaz played really well as the one who was mind fucked by
Yes.
the Kit, whereas you're thinking maybe Pacino would have to go over the top on Kit to establish some sort of small man dominance there.
Definitely. Agree with that.
But yeah, also turned down the role of Ted Kramer in Kramer versus Kramer, Dustin Hoffman's role, and the Richard Dreyfuss's role of Roy Neary in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So
yeah, you can't.
Quite a few movies there. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, moving on. We got Stephen Bauer. This was his breakout role as well as Manny Ribera. So I don't think he even had to audition for this because they were so convinced he was the right role. He had a strong, he's got a Cuban background.
It's fucking creepy enough.
Yeah, and he earned him a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor in this. And after this, he was actually in Annie Lennox's "Would I Lie to You" film clip.
Oh.
He was her boyfriend on the bike who drops her off based on this. But a few other movies. He was in Running Scared in '86 with Gregory Hines, Billy Crystal. He was in Primal Fear in '96.
A few times as one of the 4 movies I had at home on VHS. So I definitely gave that a lot of viewings and enjoyed his part.
The library's deep. The library's deep.
He was in Traffic in 2000. He was also in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He played Don Eladio.
He did.
He's got in Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, isn't he?
Yeah, good. Very, very good.
He's excellent. He's
Oh,
Donnie.
yeah,
He's amazing.
You've seen one of the video covers?
Yeah.
Haven't even seen that.
Mate, you got to watch both of those. He was also in Ray Donovan. He did 60 episodes of Ray Donovan.
He's a good-looking
He
man.
was Avi.
He's a good-looking rooster. He's a good-looking rooster.
But look, obviously, I think he's really suited this role. You know who was in line for this role? Which you can really see is John Travolta.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Michelle Pfeiffer. She had some early TV roles in Chips and Fantasy Island before being in the breakout movie of Grease 2 in 1982.
Wow.
With Adrian
We talked
Zmed.
about that as well.
Yeah.
There's definitely a school of love for Grease 2 as a standalone movie, which I do not get.
No, it's fucking pathetic.
Yeah. Is the Bird maybe into Grease 2?
Yeah, the Perp's a
the
huge
Perps,
Grease
is it?
2 person.
Really?
Yeah, she loves
Grease 2.
Yeah, she loves Grease 2.
Oh, she likes the cool rider.
She loves the cool rider. She loves reproduction. Reproduction.
But look, she's had a great back catalogue too. Obviously, Scarface was one of her early roles. Lady Hawk, The Witches of Eastwick, Married to the Mob, Tequila Sunrise.
There is 1 Degree of Kurt Russell.
There it is. There it is. Dangerous Liaison, Batman Returns, obviously 92 was Catwoman.
Yeah.
What Lies Beneath, I Am Sam.
She's a great actress, and she is probably top 10 all-time most beautiful actresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's stunning. She had a real thing in the 90s. Like, she was the most beautiful woman on the planet in the 90s. God.
Yeah, she did it. She had a lot of top roles back then.
And she's also in the MCU.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she plays Michael Douglas's wife in the MCU.
He's in the MCU. What film?
Yeah, he's in the MCU, yeah.
All right, a couple of sliding doors for her. She was original choice for Clarice Starling in The Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I can see that.
But that was, I think, when she was at a peak. So she was asking for a little too much freight. So they punted her for Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, one and done. There's only one Clarice Starling.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Julianne.
She nailed it, yeah.
Sorry, Julianne.
She turned down the Ashley Judd role in Double Jeopardy and the Sharon Stone role in Basic Instinct.
Ooh, I would have loved to see her leg cross.
Yeah.
She would have been too powerful to get a flange out, Michelle Pfeiffer. I think that was Sharon Stone's make or break of Basic Instinct. That was the one that she really had to get the flange out. Sharon?
Yeah.
Michelle wouldn't have had to.
She was at the height of her powers then. She was a bona fide superstar then. Michelle
Pfeiffer wouldn't need to. Sharon, whatever her name is, Sharon Stone, she needed to get the flange out. It took her to the stratosphere, though.
Yeah, well, it's a memorable, obviously,
Yeah.
memorable scene.
She came a Majora star after that. I'm here all week. I'm like the fat guy with the mask on in Scarface at the Babylon.
Valentino. Is that his name? All right. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio's in this too as Tony's sister.
Gina.
Yeah. She's been in The Color of Money, The Abyss, Perfect Storm, most recently
her.
Limitless. Yeah.
I like her. I like her.
Good
a lot.
actress.
Yeah,
She's in Robin Hood.
Yeah, I think she's actually quite good in this movie too. She's the object of some very odd sibling affection, which I'm sure we'll get to as we move through the categories. But I think she's really, really good. She's a highlight in this movie, to be honest.
Yeah,
very good, very good. And also in Color of Money, I think she's excellent.
Excellent. And also in The Abyss. The Abyss is an underrated movie. Yeah. It's an underrated James Cameron flick and well worth a watch.
Another Michael Biehn bit.
Yes. Yeah. He's very good at it, actually.
Yeah. The only other one I've got here is Robert Loggia.
Yes.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good in this. I mean, he's been in heaps of good movies. He's in Pritchie's Honor, Over the Top. He's in Over the Top.
Yeah, he plays the
85.
dickhead dad, the grandpa.
He was in Big.
Winner takes it.
98. He was in Independence Day. But a couple other quick ones. There was an early role here for Mark Margolis. We talked about Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. But Alberto the Shadow. That was he was Hector Salamanca in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
He had as much dialogue as Hector Salamanca as well.
He did too.
Hector hardly spoke, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Ding 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 ding. And also the stage comedian in there was Richard Belzer.
That's right.
From Law and Order SVU. So an early role for him as well.
We're also forgetting one. We've got a category named after him. The lookalike F. Murray Abraham Morgue.
Well, yes,
for F. Murray Abraham.
He had a bit of a moment around that time. He was coming off Amadeus, about to go into Amadeus. And he was actually featuring a lot of big films around that time with Murray Abraham. And he certainly wasn't doing it as someone who blessed with a leading man's head. It's definitely a lot going on.
Wow. I don't know where to start with F. Murray. I don't know where
Jeffrey Rush. F. Murray, same school of rough scone, yet amazing actor.
Yeah, Harry Dean
Stanton, of course.
A lot of people. A lot of
Morgs alikes.
Dan Morgan. The old Morgs alikes.
I'm 3 from 3 for those guys.
Jeffrey Rush. That's a new string to your bow. Shine, Morg, shine.
But no. When he plays a bit of a yuppie with the ponytail, what movies? Oh, yeah, it's a definite mix.
Not in Candy. What about him when he's in Candy when he plays the old digger, the heroin addict?
Likes to flick the hammer.
Yeah.
Anyway, three balls are like
Marquis de Sade. He plays the Marquis de Sade in Quills.
I think I can unearth that, but yes. Ugly man.
Not attractive. Did win an Academy Award though. Is that it, G?
That's it.
Okay, 1983 hit, sleeper, and dud. And I believe, Daniel, you have the hit for this year. Take it away.
I do. And look, I'm going back to The Well a bit, but only because I took the time out to watch it during the break and thoroughly enjoyed it. But An Officer and a Gentleman.
Yes, very good. Great movie.
The chick out of Back to the Future, Beverly Hills Cop, who is...
Lisa Eilbacher.
Lisa Eilbacher, it is. Brilliant.
Yes.
What a great movie. Deborah Winger, just something. And my wife hadn't seen it, so she actually enjoyed it and sat down and watched
it. Did she enjoy it?
Enjoyed it very much. She's not one for old movies by any stretch. But she thoroughly enjoyed it and born to watch. Fellow F Weeks, I would. So just go out and check it out again, as it's just a good flick.
Yeah, that's a good call, Morgs. I reckon it gets a bit of bad raps, but it's more than just a romance film, right? It's
It is.
it's pretty good. It's pretty
It
good.
is.
I really enjoy it.
It's a great
Yeah.
movie. Fantastic.
Great song. Up there where we belong is one of the best movie theme songs of all time.
Well acted. Great script. Good characters. Yeah. Fantastic. movie.
G-Man, what do you have for sleeper?
Well, I struggle with this one because it's hard for it to really be a sleeper when it's.
Okay, hang on a minute. Can I take a punt here?
It's going to be.
Is it Porky's too?
It's not Porky's 2. It's not Porky's 2. I wanted it to be Porky's 2, but I didn't go with it.
Is it Flashdance?
No.
Okay.
This movie was the songbird of its generation. And it is the top movie for me of 1983, Revenge of the Ninja.
Oh, well, there we go.
It's the greatest ninja movie of all time.
It's a tough year this year because Lone Wolf McQuade's in there as well.
Yeah, Lone Wolf not up there with this.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few other movies that are out there, but this was the best ninja movie. Sho Kosugi, a superstar. After ninjas killed his family, Cho and his son Kane coming to America to start a new life. He opens a doll shop, but is unwittingly imported heroin in the dolls. When his friend betrays him, Cho must prepare for the ultimate battle. Now, I've told you this before, but this is the one where he's got the ninja star on his belt buckle and he just throws it off and just sticks it into the guy's hand. The guy's stuck to the pole with the ninja star on there. And then he throws another one into the guy's head and then the guy's screaming and he throws one into his throat and shuts him up. It is the greatest.
Okay, so I'm going to throw something out here between us. There's a lot of these movies which probably aren't worth a full episode, right? But there's probably 3 or 4 which we could do an episode of mini reviews for 3 or 4 of these movies, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
This is not a mini. This is a full episode.
You think that's full? You think
this
Revenge of the Ninja's full episode?
Full episode.
Okay, G. Well,
not for you guys though. Maybe we'd have to do a mini.
No, mate, I'll do a full episode. I don't give a shit. I can talk shit.
Mate.
Okay, 1983 dud. Now, we spoke about this maybe late last year. The unofficial James Bond Never Say Never Again.
Oh, never.
Sean Connery comes back for his last turn as a terrible song. A terrible song. The highlight is it star Kim Basinger is the Bond girl. She is
that's right.
Stunning. Very close to 9.5 weeks. Very good. But a Spectre agent has stolen 2 American nuclear warheads and James Bond must find their targets before they are detonated. Now, if it sounds like about 9 other James Bonds, it's because it is. And this was all to do with the rights battle between the Broccolis and whoever the studio was, and this is what happened. And it's not a very good Bond. It's okay, it's watchable, but it's just not a very good Bond. I've been revisiting some of the old Bonds. I watched Moonraker, watched Octopussy about 2 weeks ago. They were a lot of fun. The Roger Moore is very camp. His Bonds are very camp. Yes. But that is my dud. Question time.
Hang on, before we move on, Jeffrey Rush, ponytail, intolerable cruelty. George Clooney, Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, right? Yeah. Yes.
He's got a
manky
ponytail and he's a mausoleum.
Yeah. Does he wear it in a bun to surf? Do you think?
He would have to. So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Question time. So Gina, knowing her brother, is she really going to cut loose in Club Babylon? Because I reckon that's sort of the beginning of the end for Tony.
She's done the Curtly Burl and that chick at the sheath and just gone into the male shitters. And what happened after that is before the courts at the moment, so we can't comment on it. But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty ballsy of her knowing who her brother was, and you'd got to guess suspecting that maybe he was a bit to her in a non familiar way.
Yeah, it's a very odd relationship.
Yeah, well, I think this is obviously portraying that and showing that he just can't handle anybody else being around her, even though he hasn't seen her for years.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that she's little sister and she looks 20 years younger than him.
Yes, she does.
You know, and it's very unhealthy, I think. But I've got a bit to say about that a bit later on. And I mentioned this earlier. The rise and fall of Tony Montana happens far too fast, I think. There needed at least another push to the limit montage which showed the downfall. He just sort of gets to the top, and then it's just a steep fall off the cliff.
Yeah, the next thing he's smashing his face into pounds of cocaine, and then he's gone. Yeah,
Fuck a duck.
Yeah, it is. It is a very. It is. He gets to the top, and then he's not there for very long, is he? But that's his own.
It's his own doing,
it's
but
showing his own flaws in his.
What do you reckon the time frame is of this movie? What is it?
I was actually thinking about this last night.
Is it a year? Is it 5 years? I don't know.
I'd say a year. I didn't get a sense of 5 years. I reckon. 12.
Yeah, and that's what I think it's a year. I think it's 12 months.
Doesn't change much at all. She's
No.
19.
No.
Yeah.
But she'll find it gets a bit skinnier, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
You have to leer pretty hard.
Well, that's the thing. They come into it, and they start working for Frank Lopez. Is it Frank Lopez or Frank?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Robert
Frank.
Lodger.
Yeah.
And then when they go down the beach, it's 3 months later. So that time on, I think, is about right.
Yeah.
It's not over years.
Yeah. It's 12. I
I
think
reckon
it'll be
12
12
months.
months.
I reckon 12 months. Yeah.
It's a fairly quick timeline.
Okay. Did Manny and Gina really think Tony does surprises well? Did they think that was going to go any other way?
You've stepped all over my bad / ugly because no, that was one of the worst ideas of the history of ideas.
Fuck.
If what on earth made them think that was going to go down well? Oh, by the way, how you told Manny not to go near me? Well, surprise, we got married, and he's rude.
No, she's walked out and she's got a dripping cream pie from just being upstairs. Like, it's not going to be good.
Well, I think, the first moment that Manny laid eyes on her, he screamed at him, "Stay away from her." So
Yes.
you kind of knew from that point that.
Yeah. She's beautiful, man. She beautiful, man.
Poor old Manny couldn't help himself.
Fans lost it.
Mate.
Fans lost it.
Poor old Manny's supposed to be looking out for Tony when they go to the first drug deal, and then he's down there with the blonde in the blue swimsuit.
Manny is the worst wingman of all time.
He was all over the place, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Loved it.
All right. Has there ever been a bigger pile of cocaine in the history of cinema?
No, that was
Than on
pretty
his
massive.
desk.
That was on his desk.
What about when he comes back? Is it after he comes back from the failed hit, and he gets his box out and he just shares it, and with his hand just makes this big thick line, which he snorts.
That was, I thought he does a very good, a very good facsimile of someone that's just way too walked off their face at the end, and he's sweating and his eyeballs are running around his head and his pupils are massive. And I mean, you couldn't take that much rack and not have your heart stop, but he definitely has a good crack at what it looks like for sure.
Well,
he's going down swinging, isn't he?
Well, I was thinking like he's with that pile of cocaine on his desk, he's dead.
Yeah.
He doesn't survive that pile of cocaine. Like he gets 4% through it and he's gone.
But he's keen to count up the 1,500. He's keen to count up the $1,500 to make sure it's there, but then he's got that pile sitting on his desk.
Fucks. All right. The good, the bad, and the ugly. G-Man, we'll start with you. What do you got for good?
Really, I liked the scene. I loved F. Murray Abraham out of the chopper.
Oh,
Always really liked that
Helicopter hanging.
scene. Yeah, when he gets thrown out. I did think that Sammy Sosa said to him, come over here and let's chat. And the next thing you know, like it's pretty quick between time they beat him up, get him up in the chopper and throw him out.
Fuck yeah.
It's only like a matter of a minute.
There's no mucking around.
And when they show him up there, he's beaten up already. Like it's it was pretty good.
They flogged him.
I liked that scene. I did like also. I liked the Tony Montana scene when they come in and kill Frank Lopez.
Love that.
And that whole scene goes through, but then at the end they go, as they walk out there, what about Ernie? And Ernie's just sweating bullets.
You want a job, Ernie?
You want a job, Ernie? Sure, Tony.
I've got that in good too. I just love the whole lead up, and I love the phone call, them not answering, and it's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
That's really, really well done.
Look, I liked that, Tony's such a flawed personality. Like he's going to let him go because he knows that he's not a threat to him. He's a bad guy. He's going to kill people. He's going to fight for everything he wants, but then he won't blow up the kids.
Yeah.
He wants his mum to have the money, he wants his sister to have the
It's
money.
an
and not get in the
interesting
life.
set of morals, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's this totally, he's this bad gangster, but he also doesn't want that life for his sister, and
Yeah.
it's really interesting that sort of, duality of who he is. So it's sort of
It's
that
the classic
flawed.
hero, isn't it?
That's right.
There are times in the movie when you're rooting for Tony, like you want him
Yeah,
to come out top, and he's a dude that kills people and he's horrible to pretty much everyone he encounters. But still, and they do a really good job of showing what his morals are when he refuses to kill the dude outside the denomination. And I agree, Gary. I think that's really interesting how, as an audience, we are still behind him, even though he's a complete creep.
yeah. And then he just backs him. He's like, right, that's it. Well, we'll go to war. He's just
Yes.
got that total. And I think that comes in the first scene in the movie too, where they set that tone with him. Like he's this uber brash, arrogant guy who's being interviewed, by the American feds, and he's just like, yeah, they already set the tone. That's what he's like.
How good are the questions from the feds? You get that scar? How'd you get that scar? Eating pussy? Yeah, of course. Of course I did.
And they're trying to do the tough guy thing, and he's just not having it.
Yeah.
Not
But that
one
to me,
bit.
that sets his tone for who he is and who he wants to be, right? And that comes out through the movie.
Yeah, good one. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Daniel, what do you got for good?
I just had the pairing of the director, Brian De Palma, and the screenwriter, Oliver Stone. So, two amazing filmmakers in their own right coming together on this one. Now, this was a remake of sorts. It was based on a 1932 movie of the same name, but obviously completely given an overhaul so that it was to be set in the 80s and very much of its time, but brought together to who would become, or were already on the way of, incredible 20th century, 21st century filmmakers. So much so that this week in Film School FWIT's return, I wanted to have a little bit of a death match. Oliver Stone versus Brian De Palma with three each of their films, and we'll see who comes out on top for director supremacy. But yeah, amazing pairing of this. And Oliver Stone apparently was able to base a lot of the cocaine scenes on his own crippling addiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much into the nose beers, and this is the movie that apparently broke him off that. So that was also interesting.
Yeah, cool. I've got The Start, I think, interwoven with the real footage. I think that's pretty cool. And then when they go to Freedom Town, what a toilet that is. Like, it sets the mood for, why you sort of get an understanding as to why he's going to break out, because he's just, he's a
how desperate
prisoner from Culver.
How willing they are to stab someone to get out. Oh, God, will do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the whole scene where they're playing basketball. I mean, that's how Morgs used to run, with the jeans and the bandana around the head. Is that who you modelled it off, Morgs?
Mikhail Pensford's the tennis player used to run a yellow cap backwards, and I did go through a stage where I read the Pensfords when I was either on the tennis court or on the basketball court, moving a little. But no, I don't think I've actually run a headband. Who's to say I won't in the future?
I think there's every chance you will.
Every chance.
The soundtrack. I love the soundtrack. It's so just perfectly 80s.
So Scarface's not here to crap on about motifs and how the freak listens to soundtracks when he's driving around. We'll probably unpack that a little bit, Dave, at some stage. But Giorgio Moroder, what an amazing score that he provides.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Pulsing and instantly recognizable as Scarface as well. So I think definitely Damo would have a lot to chew over if we invited him into a cool movie, not just a donkey MCU way.
The chainsaw scene, I think, is amazing, and it is the scene that sets the movie apart from everything else. Is the chainsaw scene. You don't see much, which I think is so well done. You actually don't see the chainsaw cutting anything. You just obviously see the blood, and it's all Tony's face. Like it's his reaction to what's going on, which is really the litmus test as to what is actually happening. He is like legitimately panicking.
Well, this is the world he's in, and
Yeah.
that shows it right. Well, he's become a drug dealer, and this is the really bad world that he's in. It's blood. It's cutthroat.
It's 20 minutes into the movie, 22 minutes the chainsaw scene. So he effectively gets out, and the first thing that Omar gets him to do is he's obviously sold him a dud, and he knows he's hoping he's gonna die, and when he brings, and I love that he brings the yayo and the money back and goes, my gift to you, the money. And it's just a boss move, right?
Yeah.
Just a boss move. The open shirts, get the fuck out of here. How good are they? Like, take 3 or 4 buttons down and away you go. The suits, the shirts, so cool. Miami in the 80s. It's good in hindsight. It's good to look at it in hindsight. I'm not sure it would have been the place to be. I think, but in looking back on it, fuck, it looked like a good time.
Yeah. Who's getting around an $800 suit in Miami, though? Wow. I know that's what they like to wear. Jeez, it's going to be hot.
Yeah, there'd be some cag sweat. Don't worry about that. I thought Al Pacino, I'm going to put Al Pacino as in good and also in bad in this movie. I think the movie hinges so much on him.
Of course it does,
and his character. I think what he brings is incredible. But I also think he could easily slip into the bad. I think some of his accent has a bit to be desired, and there's, but overall, I think he's pretty good. You talked about Frank and Bernstein's death. That's amazing. And get the fuck out of here. If Push It to the Limit montage isn't the best part of the movie. Like,
I cannot agree more. That was just, it would not be out of place in a Rocky film.
And that's what I was thinking. So they've watched Rocky 1, Rocky 2. There's a big chance Rocky 3 comes out in 83 as well. So it's like, well, it would not have been out of place in any Rocky film. It is so good. And all it is just his rise to power. And it's just, mate, it is a great song. It's a great song. Culminates with the wedding and the chained up tiger, which just to prove about how big a fuckwit he has become.
Awesome.
Anyway, what about bad? Dan, what do you got for bad?
It's on theme. I think that some of Tony's and Manny's taste, the leopard skin trim in the yellow Cadillac.
Dear.
Why Michelle Pfeiffer was not too keen on going into that vehicle, although he pulled the boss move to go get the Porsche, but then actually put it back in the Cadillac. So I'm not sure what that flex was all about, but yeah, that was particularly awful. I think a whole different color and better trim. It might have been a boss vehicle.
Yeah, fair enough. Good call. G-Man?
Tony and Elvira's dancing. Now, it is next level bad.
God.
Next level bad on that. She's just got the arms up. She's actually got her back to him with her arms up. He just does this 2 arms in the air move the whole time, like arms up and down. While
it's bad.
It's
so
really bad. Like you look at Pulp Fiction and you see her dancing, and then you see that. Yeah, that to me was bad. The other thing I had was you talked about the hotel scene at the start, which I thought was really, really good too. I really love that whole scene. It sets the tone, and the chainsaw thing is brutal. How does Tony get free? Does the thing rip down when he's because they tie him up and
he does rip the thing.
He rips it down, does he?
Well, he's not actually handcuffed. He's just chained. So they rip the chain.
Oh, it's just a chain.
So he's not actually handcuffed, and so he rips the thing down and steals the guy's gun. I don't know how he gets out of that.
Yeah.
Manny the wingman is no good. He's fucking hopeless.
Manny was scoring downstairs.
It's interesting. Did you read about the girl in that scene?
No.
I've got to listen to this. It's pretty fucking interesting. Are you done, G?
Yes.
I got Manny is so fucking creepy. Me Too. He's not surviving Me Too. So him creeping out the front of the hotel, him sticking the tongue out to the girl.
The lingus tongue.
The lingus tongue. And I love that when Tony goes, come and watch this.
To the kids, that's great.
This guy's about to get slapped. And the next thing he just gets slapped. Again, we'll get the chainsaw scene. God, those walls must have been soundproof.
Yeah.
Those walls must have been seriously soundproof.
Oh, she turned the
no one said a thing, did they?
So, the 40 decibels and the 100 decibel chainsaw didn't overpower it.
No, Exactly right. It reminded me of like we've all seen Boy Swallows Universe.
Yep.
Right. In the first episode when the stepdad's being hauled away by the baddies and the neighbour's just watching it happen. Oh, don't you call the cops? He's just watching it happen.
Yeah, no, they all just watched.
Yeah,
and
they
let it
just
go.
watched. Yeah, anyway, the Babylon Club. Now, we've all been in some toilet nightclubs, but I reckon that would have been hard. Like that looked good, but geez, it was a toilet.
Yeah, not a great place.
No.
Was that the place where Frank Lopez went every night?
Yes.
That was the one?
Yeah, the Babylon. That's
The
where
Babylon.
the
It
assassination.
wasn't quite cartoon D-wise. So
Do you know, it got me thinking, is it how many nightclubs were we in where there was massive drug deals being done in a corner? Like, I'm just, we're probably in a different, you never know.
You've got to
never
assume
know.
there's probably a lot
Yeah,
that's
you're
happened.
probably right. Okay, so the nightclub comics, one, he is not funny. Shotgun Face, right? He's not funny. And then they're all laughing and clapping to the mime with the fucking mask on and the fat guts. It's not funny either. At all. And not funny at all. And I'm glad he got shot.
He got taken down.
I'm glad he got shot. He deserved it. And that leads me into world's worst assassination attempt. They've got, what? They shoot about 12,000 bullets and they hit everyone except for Tony.
And he's about
And
3
he's 10
meters
away. Yeah, at 10 meters at worst. Like, he's not far away. Yeah.
I
that's it.
don't know what they were waiting for because he nudges his mate and goes, "Here comes the light." Like I was like, he's right there. They could have just walked
Just
up and
shoot him.
shot him.
Yeah.
He had nowhere to go. He was in the booth, off his head.
Oh, wasn't he? God.
He's just sitting duck.
Yeah. All right. Ugly. G-Man.
Oh, I just had for mine in the ugly. I didn't really get the chemistry between Tony and Elvira at all.
Well, there's no chemistry.
It's just none, right? Like, and it's just like, I want you. You're the boss's wife.
Well, she was just a coke whore.
Yeah,
She was just going wherever the coke was, wherever the money was.
Yep.
That's the dick I'm sucking.
but it kind of went from
he prophesizes that once you get the money, you get the power. Once you get the power, you get the women. And I think that's of it. So he becomes El Jefe, and then she pulls up the fella, and that's the only reason.
You're right. That's probably right. And that's the thing. But between them, they go from her not liking him to her sort of warming up to him when he puts on the hat to her husband getting killed and then them getting together and getting married. And then next thing they hate each other. Very quickly. Yeah.
They go from in push to the limit. It pushes to the limit. They get married. They get the tiger. And then at the end of pushes to the limit, she's sitting at the vanity snorting coke.
Yeah.
And that's it. And she's miserable.
And he's in the world's biggest spa
in one montage
with his mate just sitting beside him.
Mate.
Eating
Not
fruit.
even sitting in there.
Yeah, I know. Just sitting beside him.
Hey, pelican. Fly away, pelican. Pelican, pelican. Daniel, what do you got for ugly?
I think just more of the same of not understanding any appeal between Michelle Pfeiffer and Al Pacino. But when they're sitting in the front of the Cadillac and they're just talking, and then he just lurches that up and tries to stick.
Yes, yeah.
Right. And then she just cops it. And then 30 seconds later, they're laughing as if nothing happens. God, miss the 80s. Jesus.
Yeah. Look, I got a couple. I got that. I've also got the sibling affection, which I think is odd. It probably didn't need to go to the extent that it did. And then, here's my take. I'm not sure this is a very good movie, right? But I actually really love it. But I watch it and I go, it's the narrative is so weird. It's like a film clip. It's like it's just, there's no real structure. You don't get to, I don't know, there's not a lot of payoff in this movie. I just, until the very end. But I don't know. It's
Is it like
weird.
they try to go too big?
I don't know. It's just, I can't put my finger on it, but I watched it because I watched it over the weekend again and I'm like, I enjoy it. And
Because there is a lot of love and hate for it. There's a lot of love. People going, "Oh, what a great movie!" In retrospect, and there's also a lot of people that have said, "I don't like it."
Yeah, I don't know where I sit with it.
That they don't land it in the final third. It's too rushed.
I think it's way too rushed. I think that's it. I think that I feel there's no payoff. Like
First
I
blood
wanted-
syndrome.
The editor's sitting there and he's going, mate, allure 2 hours 45. I'm not even close to finishing this fucker. I've got,
This is it.
Shootout, eh?
And this is sort of like, exactly right. And it's not only that, it's like, well, Steven Spielberg, you come and say good day. Why don't you direct this part of the shootout?
Yeah.
So Brian De Palma even quit on it, right? So it was, for me, I just find that we build to like 80% of the movie is, well, 50% of the movie is the rise. The next 30% of the movie is the sort of, I'm at the top with a slight decline, and then it's just off a cliff.
Yep.
And, you know, I think that even if there was another montage which showed some shit going wrong, or like I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, I still enjoy watching it.
3 hours.
I agree with that. And this,
I will say, I watched it last night and it didn't, like, it flowed, all right? I didn't sit there thinking, God, this is taking forever. It's 3
which
hours
makes
of my
me
life.
think is that I could do a 4 hour. I could do a 4 hour Scarface and it might be, you might get more to it, right?
There was a lot of early setup in the movie and not a lot of towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of early setup and then bang, as you said, it goes really quick.
Like they spend all that time in the interrogation at the start, but then they don't show the downfall of him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think they could have cut some of that bit and maybe given us a bit more of what actually happened for him to lose it. You know, why did him and Elvira fall out? Because she just hates him. Like it's not like he's done anything. She just says you swear too much.
I think, as Morg said, that's the whole thing. Is he just wanted she's the pinnacle because she's the kingpin's wife. And he's like, you get the money, you get the power, you get the women. And that's what he wanted. Yeah, that was his sign of success.
Yeah, because really the downfall is the dinner at the restaurant.
Yeah,
that's really his. That's where it's like, well, shit, he's gone.
Yeah, poor old Manny just had to cop a few.
Oh, Manny was patient. Manny was patient.
Scenes, didn't he?
Manny was patient. It was like going out with Morgs in the 90s on the piss. You know, you're like, fuck, I'm going to have to carry this wanker home again. I'm not getting in the cab. Is he going to shit his pants tonight? What's going on?
The 90s,
dance,
the gentleys, the plays.
Nothing changes. Dan's Quickfire.
Yes, gentlemen, welcome back. 2024, Quickfire is with us. Let's rip straight into it. So, as far as ripping straight into it, I'm going to follow where I've written it. As I found it, here we go. First up, it's lookalike. Now, reminder, this does not have to be a walk-alike. Can be just a person like another famous person. However, the obvious low-hanging fruit is Murray and Graham as a dead set ringer for yours truly. So we'll get that out of the way. Any others that struck you lookalikes in this one?
Yeah, I reckon you got a bit of Richard Belzer in your
Oh,
Morgs.
absolutely. That's what I was going with.
It's
got a bit of the bells.
The Law and Order guy.
Yeah. Bum bum.
I can see that. I like it. All right, wax on, wax off.
Hang on a minute. I love now that this has just become Morgs alike, right? There is.
I blame you.
Yeah, I blame Damo. Absolutely. All right, go for it.
Wax on, wax off for a scene that has passed into popular culture. Definitely a couple here. G-Man, what would you think?
Say hello to my little friend.
Absolutely.
First you get the money, then you get the power.
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
Fuck
Fuck you, mang.
Yeah.
Chainsaw bathtub.
Yeah, definitely that is passed. I mean, that's one of the most. That say hello to my little friend is one of the most oft-quoted and famous scenes from a movie.
Could almost say hello to my little friend. Could beat wax on, wax off.
I'm going to take it. Introduce Matthew from now on. It will be known as say hello to my little friend. Excellent call. Next up, Phil Stuckey in Pretty Woman, Jason Alexander's mega douchery bad character, who in this film equals or surpasses great Phil Stuckey, Matthew.
Oh,
do both that.
No,
why? Do
no one equals or surpasses ever Philip Stuckey. He will be that name forever. The worst character in all cinema. I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to say Tony. I'm going to say Tony. I think Tony's a dick. If I have to pick someone other than Tony, I'm going Omar. I'm going Ed Murray.
Absolutely. I think it's a dead heat between those two.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Alberto the Shadow. I mean, he's got no morals whatsoever. Yeah,
You
he's
know,
just like,
he was.
he said, Sosa said to kill him. Let's just kill him.
Yeah, he was good. He was. Tell you what, he was excellent in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
And what do you think of how he communicates in Breaking Bad?
He doesn't say much. That's what I love about him. He doesn't say much.
But why is that?
I think it's
How does he communicate normally? Like, what's his? What do you think? What do you think of that communication?
he does
technique?
clicks and pops because he's Swahili.
No, he's not a Swahili bush.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I tried.
Just bullshit. Next up, the cast of Caddyshack for an actor or entire staff who are quite totally aligned with the rest of their fellow actors in this film. Look, no one really stood out for me. That I think everyone was in it. A couple of the henchmen were probably ill cast. They didn't seem like heavies. They just seemed like blokes that were watching TV on a Sunday night, not necessarily getting involved in gangster shit with Tony. Ernie and his mate at the end, who gets done probably a little
Nick the Pig.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyone that stood out for you guys?
You could say no one and everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Manny thinks he's in a 70s softcore film, film. But no, I agree. I think for what it is, it's extravagant. So everyone is playing the role.
That's it. Okay, I'll take that. Lots of flamboyance. Next up, Olivia Newton-John, rest in peace. Her cartwheel at the pep rally in Greece is an amazing show of lack of athletic prowess. Was there anyone in this film that was also of the cohort varietal gear?
Yeah, well, Tony and Elvira, we've already hit. That was really bad.
I got that.
The
other one was terrible. The other one was the guy in that first scene. I can't think of his name. That chainsaw guy.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
When he jumps down
Out the window.
He jumps out the window
And he falls and smashes himself.
He smashes himself. Then he gets up, but then he runs down to the road, and then he just randomly falls over on the road.
Sort of like
he does a
realizes
weird,
that he's got a stab wound in his guts, or
does a weird jig, and then falls over to let him catch up.
Yeah,
it kind of looked like to me. It was really odd.
Yeah. I've got chainsaw guy falling out the window. Smashes the window, and then he sort of doesn't realize there's a 6-foot drop. It absolutely poleaxes himself. Love it. What about Tony playing basketball in Freedom Town?
That was my other one. There was definitely, I don't know that Al Pacino was first picked in the school for basketball or any other sport. He was my standout.
Yeah. And I think they just said, Tony, hold this thing. And he goes, what the fuck's that? It's a basketball, Tony. Just hold it. What's a basketball? Just hold this round thing, mate. Just hold it. And then when we say, now throw it. What's throw? You could just tell he's no idea.
That's not to say that famous little people haven't been very good at basketball, because Prince was apparently a gun point guard, and that guy stood about 4'8". So, it's not necessarily
Could he dunk?
Consequence of Al Pacino's ass dragging along the ground.
Could Prince dunk? Okay.
No.
You there, Dan?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I asked you if could Prince dunk.
I don't know if Prince could dunk. I think it was probably a little like Dorian Martin at school. So not quite good on the verse.
Mate, he
a little too American.
Prince played basketball so well, he made the doves cry.
Oh, geez. You got your Damo joke in there.
Excellent. Moving along, robot sentries for an extra scene that you were hoping Mr. De Palma put into Scarface so that we knew a little bit more about the predicament or the backstory or anything about this film, a la the robot sentries in our favourite Aliens with James Cameron and Sigourney Weaver. Did you guys want to know anything more about this, and what did you want to see?
Well, I think I've spoken about the downfall. I would have liked to have maybe seen a little bit more time on why things went so bad. But other than that, as I said, I could watch a 4-hour cut of this, I think, if it explained that. But, it's pretty good the way it is. G?
No, I don't think at 2 hours 50, there's much more you need to know. Yes, we've already covered what you said about the downfall.
Yeah.
How he came about. I guess they covered at the start a little bit, how he came to be such a bad guy. He was in the army, I guess.
Yeah.
and then he's that was the way he got into the States. So I guess they sort of covered everything. I mean, there's not much else you need to know to me.
Yep. Well done.
Yeah, I too would watch a longer cut that flattened out the arc a bit in the back third.
Yep.
I'm also happy with the 3-hour cut. So good calls. Finally, why does Brad Pitt for the acting most like to mojar el churro, which is Spanish for wet the phallic looking donut? Why?
You'd have to say Manny Ribera's a good looking sort. Girls
Manny?
loved him.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
He's not my first choice.
That was why his creepiness was wasted. Like it feels like he could have been cut a sway through little Miami and into little Havana, but he was he went the creep route instead and kept crashing and burning. But no, look, definitely good looking fella, and the two female leads I think equally gorgeous. So there was certainly quite a bit.
There's lots to choose, and not only that, there was like the girls that he was creeping on, the girls in the Babylon Club. Like there was 1,000.
What about the bikini and high heel combo?
Oof. Yeah.
Not something I've ever seen in real life in Australia or anywhere else. So, quite a unique look.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. It's definitely not prevalent in Amaru place.
No, up here on the land, we definitely do not run that.
Yes.
Yeah, look, Elizabeth Mary Mastrantonio, probably for me. Whitey, you're more of a Pfeiffer?
I'm a Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
I'm a Pfeiffer.
Excellent.
She's a great sort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done.
Hey, good calls. That's Quickfire.
Well done. Listen to this, G-Man. Take it away.
All right. I want you guys to give me a number on the body count in this movie. Now, you may have looked it up. Whitey may have.
I did look it up, but I forget. But I think 42.
Morgs, what do you reckon?
Oh, not that much. 25.
It's 42 on the knocker. Whitey ruined it.
But I'd forgotten. That was just a guess. I like it, G-Man. Well done.
So a couple of quick ones. Miriam Colin, who played Tony's mother, was only 4 years older than him.
No,
she had a
in this
hard life.
movie. Yeah,
She's had a hard life.
Yeah, so they were making him play a lot younger role, right, Al Pacino? There was a re-release of Scarface in 2003, and the studio wanted Brian De Palma.
I've seen it. I don't think Whitey, have you seen it?
No, I haven't. No.
But the studio wanted him to change the soundtrack to rap songs. so that rap songs could be in the film. But he just said, no dice. No dice to my masterpiece. Interestingly, another one, the only main characters who survived the film, Tony's mother, Sosa, and Elvira, are the ones who cut ties with Tony. Everyone else that pretty much is with him, his sister, his best mate, all the henchmen, everybody goes.
Yeah.
And just one more quick little one. The only mention of Scarface in the movie is only mentioned once, and it's in Spanish, and that's in the first scene when Chainsaw Guy calls him in Spanish.
Oh, there you go.
It's the only time the movie is called Scarface.
Fair enough.
Well done.
Well done, G-Man. Dan, you got anything?
No.
Okay. The first 3 cuts of this movie were rated X by the MPAA.
Yes.
And then on the 4th time, De Palma convinced them that this was a depiction of the true drug underworld. And it was almost like a documentary. So they gave it an R rating.
Yeah, because I think they went to the FBI or something like that. They went to the feds and they were like, yeah, this is a fairly true depiction.
Yeah, fairly true depiction.
But at its time, it was had the most fucks thrown at it.
Yeah.
How many do you reckon?
I don't know that one, but I'm going to say 104.
Morgs, what do you reckon?
96.
226.
Whoa.
So at its time, I think it was something like, it was so many, I can't remember, so many per minute.
He mumbles a lot. He mumble fuck a lot. So the long myth that Pacino actually snorted real cocaine during the film has been debunked. It was apparently powdered milk, but it's never been stated. De Palma's never actually confirmed or denied that. But whatever it was,
They might have been like the cast of Caddyshack.
Yeah, I think so. But whatever it was, it created massive problems for Pacino's nasal passages, and he's never been able to recover. Now, what a crock of shit.
Yeah, it was the baby powder.
It was the
It
powdered
was
milk.
the powdered milk.
It wasn't the 20 years of cocaine addiction that he had before the movie and after the movie. It was that. So interesting story. We talked about Manny creeping on the blonde outside the hotel. She actually disappeared on the 6th of July, 1983 under suspicious circumstances and was never seen from again. So while working on the movie, she had a breakdown on set while watching a violent scene. After being taken to a trailer, she expressed to a family friend her fears about alleged money laundering and people supposedly wanting to kill her. She then quit the film and vanished, and she's never been seen from again. So there you go.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So everyone knows, but Steven Spielberg helped direct the final fight. Some of the shots.
He did the scene where they threw the hook over
Yeah,
there. He did
yep,
that scene.
Yep.
Because he was on set apparently.
So listen to this one. The international corporation set up by Saddam Hussein to launder money from his various enterprises was called Montana Management after the Scarface main character.
Well, Tony Montana was named after Joe Montana.
He was, yes. Yeah. Okay, in the final shootout, Pacino grabs the gun by the barrel and burnt his hand so badly they had to shut production down for like 3 weeks while his hand healed because even though it was only blanks, the barrel was obviously super hot, which is just another theatre kid thing because surely you know that.
Anyone from the land would know not to.
And De Palma liked this script so much, he dropped out of directing Flashdance to direct this film. So there you go. Quotables. G-Man.
We've already hit a few of them. I did like at the one at the start. I always tell the truth, even when I lie.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Good one. Well known. I did like, again, in the scene where Frank Lopez gets killed. Tony, don't kill me, please. I ain't going to kill you. Oh, thank you. Manolo,
Maybe.
shoot that piece of shit.
Shoot that piece of shit. I got that. That's so good.
And, of course, the Ernie scene, which you talked about. You want a job, Ernie?
Dan, you got any?
We've gone through most of them, but yeah, I really like You Want a Job. I mean, if I only tell you once, don't fuck with Tony. Don't you ever try to fuck me. Alejandro Sosa. That was obviously
Yes.
a foreshadowing what was going to happen when he did go against what Sosa was after. So I enjoyed that on the revisit.
Tell you what, he got his men together pretty quick, didn't they? They poured into the compound hours later.
Yeah. Certainly. Okay, I got one, Tony. This is paradise, I'm telling you. This town is like a great big pussy just waiting to get fucked. And I did love the interrogation at the start where he goes, "How'd you get that scar? Eating pussy?" It was just so bad. And then Omar at the start of the movie when he meets Omar, watch my back, Tony, better than your front, let me tell you, much easier to retch.
I also liked that when he was meeting Sosa. When Tony says, "All I have in this war is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one."
Yeah, he's very good. Okay, here we've been waiting for this. This is all, it's been weeks in the making. This one, we've got film score for F-Wits.
Yes. Welcome back, F-Wits. Excellent break, but did get me thinking with this one when I remembered that whilst Brian De Palma was the director, it was written by Oliver Stone, who would also become an incredible director in his own right. And it could be argued a little more revered than De Palma, which may or not be fair. So what I thought is I would pick three each random films, and we'll just have a little best out of three death match with them. I've tried to keep them in the same genre to make it a little bit like, but it is difficult. So it's probably not films that you're thinking they're going to be, and we can have a discussion about other films that you like or dislike at the end. But first up, Oliver Stone is probably best known, it could be argued, for war movies, and one of them being Platoon. So I thought that we would pick Oliver Stone's Platoon versus Brian De Palma's Casualties of War, with Sean Penn and a young Michael J. Fox. So, Whitey, what's your initial thoughts on both of those films?
I think Platoon is one of the great war movies, and whether it was deserving of all the plaudits it got in '86 with all the Academy Awards, it is still today. It's a movie that I would watch on a yearly basis. Uh, Casualties of War is a great movie in its own right. I've seen it twice. The subject matter is hard to watch. Obviously, they kidnap a local girl and take turns raping her, and Michael J. Fox sort of doesn't, and then he becomes the enemy. It's a great film. Don't get me wrong. I would choose Platoon every day of the week.
Yeah, look, I think that's fair. It is interesting going back to the subject matter of Casualties of War, though. Could you imagine that film being made today? Like,
It wouldn't. It would not be how it was greenlit in the first place.
Yeah,
Because you've got to remember that, like, even Platoon, I guess, pushes the limit of what the US troops did during war. Like, there's Bunny, but there's not much else in Platoon in regards to the violent acts the atrocities that were done by the where history is written by the victors, right? So to actually tell that story, which I believe is based on a true story, Casualties of War, and I think that is at that time was unheard of, and no movie's really been made like that again. Like, it's always the movie would be made from the other perspective where it's the white saviors. The US are the white saviors. And so, yeah, very ballsy move by De Palma, but that's De Palma. De Palma made extremely ballsy moves.
And that's it. There wasn't really an oeuvre that he stuck to. So Oliver Stone too definitely made a lot of different stylistic films, but Casualties of War is definitely an outlier in Brian De Palma's filmography for sure. And I think I agree everything you said there, whatever you've done, and I think that subject matter extremely difficult. I think both great movies. I definitely gravitate more towards Platoon, and I think that would go down as one of the top 5 ever war movies / Vietnam movies, and one that I've seen a bazillion times. Up there with Full Metal Jacket for sure. It's something we've watched a hell of a lot of. G-Man, any thoughts on that? Have you seen Casualties of War? Do you remember?
I have seen it, not for a long time, but I can't really add any more than what you guys have added there, because Platoon's one of the movies I love, and I think that's the one I'd gravitate to as well.
I think Platoon's a popcorn war movie where it's entertainment, right? I think that it tells a story, it's got some pretty heavy themes in it. Whereas I think that Casualties of War is really exploring themes. Like, it's a heavy thematic driven film, whereas Platoon, there's some fun in Platoon. There's no fun in Casualties of War.
Yeah, there's no levity whatsoever. So
at all.
Good calls. All right, gentlemen. I'm going to give it to Platoon. What do you think?
Ding, ding.
Platoon.
Yeah, Platoon.
Right.
Yep.
So Mr. Oliver Stone takes round 1. Let's go to round 2. So I guess in looking at gangster style themes, it was something that your Brian De Palma definitely was able to skew towards with Carlito's Way, perhaps with The Untouchables, with Snake Eyes. I guess it is also a kind of a gangster film, but I think with one film that he made in Scarface as one of the preeminent gangster films of all time, versus a film by Oliver Stone called Savages, which you may or may not have seen. Now, Gow, you actually put me on to the author of Savages, a man by the name of Don Winslow, who he writes a great book, and he's a kind of a crime thriller writer from the US, and he's quite a storied author, and one that probably the Epwits have come across in their time. But the book of Savages is fucking incredible. Really, really well written, and just a page turner. You'd be annoying the shit out of me if we were sitting on a plane on our travels, G, because you'd just be doing that thing when you look at the fucking page, and then you get your fucking finger and then you lick it, you go and you sort of look, and then you flip the next page, and God, I've seen so much. But excellent. Savages, the movie with Blake Lively, the dude that was just in Benicio del Toro's in it, John Travolta's in it. Selma Hayek is it? The cast is excellent.
Yeah. Aaron Taylor
However,
Johnson, Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch as well, who's
Yeah.
excellent in it, and he's quite picky actually. Taylor Kitsch with after heading down the heartthrob path, and I guess his earlier roles, he's become quite a good character actor in later years. But I, for one, feel that the Savages didn't translate well to the screen experience. Whitey, did you see Savages? What did you think?
Yeah, I did see Savages. Savages came out when I had the video shop, and it. How can I explain it? Again, it feels like a music video to me. It just feels. It feels
Very
a bit erratic.
stylized.
It's a bit erratic, a bit style. Yeah, it's a bit stylized. I think it's definitely Oliver Stone's crack at style over substance. I think the story had some merit. I think probably reading the book would be the way to go. But anything, I don't know. I didn't really enjoy it. In fact, I've only seen it the once. And for an Oliver Stone movie, who I've seen most of his movies multiple times, didn't really gel. Blake Lively's absolutely gorgeous in it.
Yeah. No, she's a very good actor. Gow, is this one that you came across? I would understand completely if it didn't end up in a viewing experience at the G House. But if you have, let us know what you think.
No, I haven't seen this one. Haven't seen Savages.
Yeah,
Never come across it.
it's not. You're not missing anything.
No, it's good. Oliver Stone's obviously got a lot better flicks, but if you're looking at gangster films of Oliver Stone, there's not a lot that you can use to compare with. So I think that obviously we're talking about long form with Scarface. This one we probably don't need to go too far into at the moment, but for mine, Scarface blows it out of the water.
Yeah,
100%. Mr. De Palma, work out. Are you happy to agree with that?
Agreed.
I got to say that that Aaron Taylor Johnson, he's pipped to be the next Bond as well. So
Okay,
yeah, because he plays a bit of a hitman in Bullet Train. Very good. He's English.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Bullet Train's a bit of fun. Bullet Train was a bit of fun. It's not a great movie.
Bullet Train. It popped up a few times, and I haven't taken it yet.
It's a bit of fun. It's not a great movie, but it's quite a bit of fun. Brad Pitt is excellent in it. Really good in it. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Well, we're going to give that one to Brian De Palma. So that makes it 1-1.
Now,
I guess the tiebreaker is going to be difficult. I really want you to think hard about this one. First up, we've got on the Oliver Stone side a movie by the name of. Hang on, I might have fucked this up. Yeah, stand by. I've put 2 Brian De Palma ones in there. That was clever. Yeah. No, heck on. Have I? No, hang on. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I'm just having a June moment. So I'll do that
push it
again.
to
So,
the
Careful. Right. For the final tiebreaker, we've got 2 amazing films, different genres, however, equally as famous / infamous, I think, for being perhaps arguably the pinnacle for each filmmaker. Maybe not so for Oliver Stone, but Brian De Palma could very well be most known for this film. First up, Oliver Stone's Midnight Express. What an incredible film. If this doesn't put you off drug smuggling and or going to Turkey, then nothing will. Versus Brian De Palma's The Untouchables, which is inarguably one of my top 5 films of all time, except I didn't mention it in our top 18, but I would mention it's in top 5 today. So what do you think, gentlemen? I know you both like each of these films, one especially Midnight Express. Give us your thoughts on Midnight Express to start.
Midnight Express is a harrowing journey, which is fucking incredible, frightening. Just so many, like 2 or 3 scenes which still today sort of stand out that are unforgettable. Well, I'll stop there. I think that Midnight Express is incredible. It's a great movie.
Do you think if you were in the same situation, you would choose to bust a nut with the Swedish prisoner?
Probably not, but I'd definitely be jerking off onto the window there with my girlfriend. if she's got her cans out on the window. I'd definitely be doing that. I'm not sure that I would stoop to man on man love, but I've not been in a Turkish prison, and
don't knock it.
and I
You've been
don't
in that
know.
situation.
I
Exactly.
don't know. I never say never, but I what I can say that I definitely would do is definitely put a stain on the glass in between me and my girlfriend as she gets the cans out.
Excellent. Good choice. Dow, what are your thoughts on The Untouchable?
Oh, as you said, mate, it's a classic. I love that movie. I've watched that so many times. I really, really enjoy that. Kevin Costner at his best. And we talked about that scene not long ago when Andy Garcia's firing the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The train station.
The train station.
Yeah.
Just a classic all-time scene.
Got him.
Absolutely vintage De Palma. Slow tracking shots. The slow. Beautifully set up. Yeah, what an amazing slow-mo. Great score. Yeah, look at it. But you wouldn't think of Midnight Express Whitey's obviously prophesized about a couple of the wanking scenes. However, there wouldn't be anything in that is as stylish as what De Palma does.
No, not a chance.
No,
Not a
it's
chance.
much more gritty and hardcore, isn't it? I mean, I remember more when we went to Turkey and someone said, "Watch this before you go."
Yeah.
And then they said on the way over, so we watched on the way over, and then you're
What
like,
was that? Was
"Oh,
that
crikey!"
98? 98? 90?
Yeah, 98.
It must be 98. Yeah. Great.
It was about
time
then.
on the travels, and yeah, definitely with our mates Tuckers and Damo.
Tuckers and Damo in Turkey, yeah. Samos.
On the ferry, falling asleep, driving overnight to Istanbul to watch the AFL Grand Final that we did not give one shit about, but thought it would be a bit of an adventure. Oh, those were good times on our travels.
Good times. Yeah, but no, watching that on the way over was a bit scary. It was pretty brutal. But that's the difference between the two. You know, that's a real hardcore, gritty movie compared to The Untouchables, right? Like,
well,
Untouchables
Untouchables is uplifting. Like it's a bit of a feel good movie, really. Whereas Midnight Express is not feel good at all. It is as grim as it comes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Look, I love both of those films, but I think from pure nostalgia and it being one of my 4 VHS tapes, I used to love watching. I'm going to stick Mr. De Palma on this one for The Untouchables. You guys?
Yeah, I'll stick with The Untouchables.
Yeah, I'm going Untouchables. I
There
think
we go.
Untouchables is much more rewatchable than Midnight Express.
Excellent. All right. Well, we have a winner. So in this director deathmatch and choosing those films to fit into my particular director deathmatch, Mr. Brian De Palma, a round of applause,
BDP.
has taken it out. But look, let's go a little further into the filmography now. Whitey, Oliver Stone, obviously a couple of films spring to mind that I know that you love, JFK being one of them. Born on the 4th of July, I know you've got a lot of time. For The Doors, I particularly love. I think Val Kilmer's portrayal of Jim Morrison is one of the greats. Look, any else that spring to mind? Natural Born Killers, Wall Street, of course. I mean, wow.
Yeah, look, his filmography is deep. Oliver Stone, like all those movies you mentioned are great. I've got a real
of course, Any Given Sunday that the G loves.
Yeah, of course, mate. And the thing is, although he's got a very specific style, he's sort of, I guess, moved himself around the genres a little.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
he's like, you can even, actually, one of the ones I think is a little underrated is W, the one about George W. Bush. I think
Absolutely.
that
Would be really good call. And James Brolin, great.
Yeah.
Really
I think I think it's a great movie, but for me, my favorite Oliver Stone movie is JFK, and it's by the length of the straight. And I love Platoon. Platoon is second, but JFK, it is so fucking good. It is so underrated. It is so fucking good.
And so cerebral. Like, it's not like we're watching action in this. It's just a lot of
it's got one of the greatest scenes, him and Donald Sutherland on the lawn in Washington, where he talks about the black ops, and mate, it is one of the greatest scenes of all time.
Obviously,
love it.
He's a deep believer in a lot of these conspiracies as well. Like, he got really into it.
Yeah.
And sort of maybe jump shark a little with his thoughts on it. But certainly the way he strings it together in that particular narrative, it becomes reasonably plausible that there was a massive conspiracy involved.
100%. 100%. But, you know, Wall Street,
Excellent.
Doors, excellent. All good movies.
Now, Gal, what about Brian De Palma? Now, I'll just check a few of my favourites in Carlito's Way. Snake Eyes, I think, is an underrated film, and probably another guilty pleasure for me that I can go back to see this Scarlett who's got as good eyesight and Betty Gal who's in the movie. But Nicolas Cage
No one's got worse eyesight than Gow.
but
Pretty bad.
The one that I don't really put much stock into, but Whitey May, he did the original Mission Impossible. Sorry,
Mate, it's
not
excellent.
the original Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, which I know you love.
Mate, it's excellent. It's an excellent movie. And people forget that he directed that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, people forget. One of my favourites is Blowout with John Travolta.
Yeah.
Like,
really
from
good
like
film.
82 or whatever. And that's fucking incredible.
Before Scarface. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an incredible
Really
movie.
Yeah.
He's a sound technician and he's out there recording some stuff, and he's witness to a car crash which ends up being a murder, and yeah, it's great. It's really, really good. He's so underrated. He also directed Carrie. Like he's done a ton of stuff.
That's right. I mean, to have such a storied horror flick from one of the only good adaptations of Stephen King novel, I think, I'd look at all power to him for going out the limb and trying different genres and subgenres and really having a diverse filmography. So, G, man, any of those that stick out particularly for you?
Look, I've always been, I don't know if any stick out to me. Snake Eyes, I did like. You're right, Morgs. That's a bit underrated. I don't know if there's anything else really that sticks out. Casualties of War we talked about.
Were you at Carlito's Way, got?
Look, I've seen that a few times. I quite like that. Is that Benny Blank from the Bronx? Yeah. That's a good movie. It's a good, another one that's sort of understated, right? Like it's sort of a slow burn.
Yeah, and
but it's a great storyline.
Doesn't overact. It's no, I think a really good flick and well worth a revisit. If you're looking for something cool to watch. But anyway, that's it. That's a very, very quick look into the two main writer directors from Scarface and what they went on to do post that. But look, I think we could do either of them as absolute masters of the craft. But really interesting to have a look at what they've both done and wax on a bit about it. So good work, gentlemen.
Well done, Daniel. Amazing as ever. Star of the show. G-Man, who's your MVP for Scarface?
Look, it's really hard to go past Al Pacino because he's the central point of the movie.
Yeah.
And it all hinges on his performance and him. I mean, everyone else is a bit player, really, in that scene. I really did like Stephen Bauer. I thought he was really good in the movie, but it's hard to go past Al Pacino for me. I know that's the safe bet, but
Daniel, what do you got?
I agree with the G. I don't think that you can argue that anyone surpasses Al Pacino in this. He's the iconic image, and his portrayal is the iconic part of this movie. Brian De Palma, love it, love what he did, love everything that all the choices he makes as director. But I'm going to give it to Al Pacino, like the G.
Yeah, and it's going to be 3 from 3 here. Al Pacino, movie doesn't work without him. It's quite simply. So it's a 3 from 3. It's an easy win to our mate Al. You can call me Al. And we move on now to the rank bank. And there is quite a few options here.
Are we going to do kick-ass credits?
Did you do one?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
There you go.
Fuck. Okay. Excellent.
Well, thought it was a bit hard.
All right. Now, here we go. Fresh from a substantial time off and be able to have a bit of honey and lemon and get ready for the latest rendition of Kick-Ass credit song, Down on the Land. Take it away, please.
Yes, well, look, it's hard to push it to the limit, the montage in this film, as an absolutely outstanding version of a Kick-Ass credit song mid-movie, but I'm going to have a crack. So this one is called Say Hello to My New Friend, and I'm going to try and phrase it correctly because there's definitely a couple of tricky bits in here that I made for myself, but let's see how we go. So here we go. Say hello to my little friend. Sons of sin with the pumpkin sway. Tony Montana making moves, getting paid. What you get on the gap, on the mountains of rap. Creeping on Michelle Pfeiffer, take the front or the back. In that city of vice, where Cubanos, in that city of vice, where Cubanos collide. Tony Montana on a turbulent ride. Get on the gap in the 80s glow. Mountains of rock will Tony's fortune grow. Say hello to my little friend. Peek out the bath in his bedroom. Oh, fuck that. No, yes. So the chorus, fuck it. Okay, I'll do. Oh, fuck. Guys, what the hell ever.
Pull Tony's leash.
But say hello to my little friend. But fuck it. All right, I'm going to try again. Say hello to my little friend. Pick out the bath in his bedroom. Careful, it might extend. Hello to my little friend. Is it a poisonous mushroom? No, it doesn't mean to offend. Say hello to my little friend. Me my towel. I lean to the left, mislabeled the bed. Say hello to my little friend.
Oh my God. You got the bend in. Well done, Daniel.
I can't get the chorus.
That was good. Say hello to my little friend. Fucking hell. Welcome back. It's been a long time coming. Credit song from Down on the Land.
Yeah, there we go. So good one to kick off the year.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Okay, the rank bank. We've got a few here to choose from. Here we go. Wafy Coke Whores. Little Friends. Chainsaws. Helicopter Hangings. Mountains of Yayo. Political Prisoners from Cuba. Unhealthy Sibling Obsessions. Cockroaches. And Pelicans.
Look at the pelican.
Look at the pelican. Fly away, pelican.
I actually like Mountains of Yayo.
Yeah, that stood out to me as well.
Okay. Mountains of Yayo. Okay, Dan, up there on the land, how many mountains of Yayo are you giving Scarface?
Yeah, look, it's no North Shore, but I very much enjoyed watching this on the revisit. I'm going to give it a 4.25 for what is inarguably one of the greatest 250 films of all time. Well done, Messrs. De Palma and Stone.
Okay, well played. Well played. G-Man?
Yeah, great rewatch. This really enjoyed it. Slow burn, good movie. I'm going to give it 4 Mountains of Yayo.
4. Okay. Well, G-Man, me and you are feeling the same vibe here because I am giving this 4 Mountains of Yayo, and I said before, not sure if it's a good movie, but I really like it. And I don't know what I can't convince myself why I don't think it's a good movie, but it's so damn enjoyable, and there's so many good scenes and a lot of fun in it. So it gets 4 for me. G-Man, how you going with that?
Let's just get into the ratings here.
Yeah, G-Man is all over it.
So that brings us in at
4.08.
4.08. Oh, this hasn't gone into. Here we go. So that brings us in at 4.08 Mountains of Yayo. Now that is tied. Oh God, there's like a 3-way tie there with Wolf of Wall Street 4.08 Lemons.
Ooh,
4.08 World Class Vaginas for Gone Girl.
yes.
Just above Predator at 4.06 Ugly Motherfuckers. And it's right below Mad Max, The Guard, The Matrix, and The Dark Knight at 4.17. So that brings us in to 35th spot on our rankings.
So it was lower than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit lower than I thought, but it's above the middle. It's above the mean. It's above the medium. So there we go. Well done, gentlemen. We've done it again. Okay, if you loved Scarface, what are you going to love, G-Man?
Oh, the easy ones to go something like The Godfather and things like that. But I thought these movies that sort of draw out, maybe something like Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah.
Is that the Chasman Palminteri one, or is that the Robert De Niro one?
Robert De Niro one.
Robert De Niro one, yeah. I thought something like that would be fairly similar to this.
Yep.
I mean, this is a pretty iconic movie. It's hard to say what's similar to this, but I'd go with something like that.
Yeah, cool, good call. Daniel?
I went a different way, less iconic, but more racky, with either Blow or American Made, the 2001 Johnny
Yeah.
Depp Blow, which is excellent, or the 2017 Tom Cruise vehicle American Made, which is surprisingly bloody good as well. So both of them about the cocaine trade. And
Yes.
I think, although Blow definitely starts off in Weedland, but lands back in cocaine pretty quickly. Both excellent. Go check them out.
Yeah, well done. Okay, I'm going for the 2006 documentary Cocaine Cowboys, which effectively tells the story of Tony Montana through the eyes, effectively, of a Griselda who is now have a TV show of her own starring Sofia Vergara
yeah.
on Netflix, which you should also watch as well.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that advertised, yeah.
So Cocaine Cowboys is excellent. It is unbelievable, the war that went on in Miami in the 80s. And this is tells the story from the middle. It's really cool. And I've watched the first couple of episodes of Griselda, which is worth a watch too. She was the cocaine godmother. She was hardcore. She really was.
There you go.
Okay, well done, gentlemen. Well, that's the first one of the year knocked away. So congratulations, welcome back. I feel honoured to have you back in the studio with us.
As you should.
it's been-
I like that.
Been great to be back.
Yeah, and we've got we've got a whole year ahead of us, and who knows what it will bring. Hopefully, someone paying us to do this. Hopefully, someone paying us to do
Quite a
this.
bit of wedge.
All right, now next week. Now, Dan, I think you might be upset at this, but you might not be. But this is what happens when you don't commit to a full program.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've done a Sylvester Stallone film. I'm going to say one word, and I'm going to see whether you can get it from it.
Fetch.
Cliffhanger. John Lithgow,
Go fetch.
Michael Rooker,
Yeah.
with one of the dumbest scenes at the start of a movie, but it definitely gets your palms sweating like the start of Speed. Cliffhanger, which I'm looking forward to doing. It'll be a bit of fun.
Yeah, I watched that maybe a year ago.
Yeah,
Good action flick.
mate. It's I reckon it's a underrated,
Yeah.
sly hit. Very good. Lot
John
of fun.
Lithgow's a great bad guy.
Leon, remember Leon?
Yep.
He's the bad guy, or the Jamaican dude.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
John
Oh, looking
Lithgow.
forward to that one.
John Lithgow, he's a standout. John Lithgow's a
Yeah.
standout. Really good villain.
Good eye.
All right, Daniel, well done. Great kick-ass credit song when we got there in the end. Congratulations.
Well, you'll fix that in the post, but yes.
Thoroughly, or maybe I won't.
I still can't get how I phrase that chorus, but anyway, will come to me at another episode.
Excellent. G-Man, thank you.
Pleasure to be here, guys. Looking forward to next week.
Yep, next week we got Cliffhanger. Do your homework. Share to your friends, share to your enemies, share to whoever. Get us some headsets. That's what we're after. Share the love. But from now, catch you later.
See ya.
Goodbye.